Hello everybody, Ace here, giving it to you straight with day 81 of the video log challenge, and today I wanted to talk to you all about letting it go or letting it be, and how do we end up doing all of that. Now, I've heard of the song, I think it was from the Beatles, Let It Be, that whole song, and it is very wise, to that statement, to let it be, but what does that actually mean? For a while now, I've been working on letting go. And something I came to understand yesterday was sometimes we just don't want to let go of things that we think we need to let go of. Or we don't need to let go of things that we need to let go of. Therefore, if we can't let go of something, or if we don't want to let go of something, then we need to let it be. If it's a person, we need to let them be who they are. If we cannot let them go, if we love them too much, if we want to keep going with them, then for our own sanity, for our own sake, we have to let them be how they are, who they are, where they are, doing what they're doing, however it is, no matter what our opinions are. Again, why I'm trying to let go of opinions and judgments, so that I'm not setting expectations that other people can't fulfill. And that was big for me, is learning how to not set expectations for myself, so that I'm not projecting those expectations onto other people, and then I could just let things be. But it really didn't make sense to me. I was talking to my dad, and I was just saying, I've been going through some trials and tribulations lately. I want to say trials and tribulations because I don't feel like I'm misapplying energy or thought. I've been going through some major boss battles. I've been going through the challenges the universe has been giving me, and I've been running through them with flying colors, but it's the effect of believing in myself that it was the right thing to do, it was the right decision, it was the right choice. And my dad was just like, man, you just got to let it be. And for whatever reason lately, I've been hearing a lot of the old sayings and the old mantras and all these things that I've heard all along, and I would always say them, but I wouldn't feel them. And over this last week, I'm starting to really understand in an ethereal level, like a cell-based level, very deep inside, what these statements mean. And as soon as I really understood what letting things be, as soon as I really understood what that meant, letting go made so much more sense to me. The reason I can't let go is because, in fact, I just want things to be. I want to let everyone be who they are, and I don't even want to have to deal with the process of having to let things go. I will. I have no problem letting things go, but I'm also realizing that I might be using that as a crutch on the other side now, to not have to deal with the emotions, the feelings, the drama, the human stuff of building relationships with people, of supporting them no matter where they're at, of being the beacon, and not taking things personal. Again, not taking things personal is very difficult for me because I can't let things go, because I set expectations due to judgments and opinions. And so that's why everything I talk about in these videos is there's usually an equation, or there's usually a framework to go about actually making these changes and applying these concepts in our lives. Because we could talk about this stuff all we want, but how do we actually apply it? What is letting go? What is letting it be? How the hell do you even do that if you can't let yourself off the hook, if you can't let yourself be? And if you can't let go of the things that you've done that you still hold against yourself, you're never going to be able to do that for other people. And where a lot of empaths and a lot of light workers, we fall is we give so much of our energy to people, then we set expectations that we're going to be reciprocated, and then it doesn't the way we want in our mind, and we don't want to ruffle feathers, so we don't communicate, and eventually it becomes so overwhelming that the relationship has to literally end. But does the relationship have to always end? Do we always have to run away from one another? Do we always have to cut each other out? Do we have to ghost one another? I don't believe that's the case. What I've learned over the last year, where I handled relationships optimally and I handled relationships not so optimally, is that when I don't deal with the relationship properly and I run away from it, or it kind of just does this, you leave that energy door open. When you don't have that communication, when you don't have that closure, you've now keep that energy tie between you open, you keep the energy door open, and that's why we fret about it. That's why we argue. That's what it feels like, we're arguing with that person in our heads or in the universe or in the ether. Because what are the odds that we are actually arguing with one another through the higher consciousness? Because we didn't communicate to each other consciously, we now have to ethereally flap our wings like the duck after a fight on the pond to get all of that anxiety, to get all of those feelings, those emotions out of our bodies. so that we're no longer giving our energy to that person. Even if we ghosted them, even if we ran away from them, we're still thinking about them. We're still fretting. We're still arguing as if we're still in that relationship, as if we're still talking with that person. And that's no good for anybody. That's no, your process is your process. But wouldn't it be much easier to have that adult conversation with someone that you truly do love? Because if you're having a falling out like this, it's because you love and you don't understand them and they don't understand you and it just pisses you off. If you didn't care about them, then you wouldn't feel how you felt. And again, that's letting things be or letting things go. If you can't let them go, let them be. If you can't let them be, let them go. And that's where we have to start really coming within ourselves in those introspective times when we stop, breathe, ask, listen, and trust, and we go, is this the relationship that's healthy for me and do I want to continue it? No, man, I really don't like this person anymore. I don't like who they've become. I don't like what it's all about, and it's actually negatively affecting me. Okay, then it's time to let it go. And because you sat with yourself, you asked yourself, and you trust yourself when you go to make that choice, whether to say it to them, which would be the optimal timeline, is to have that closure conversation so that you close the energy door, you cut the energy ties, and you can move on, which then also allows for that relationship potentially to come back around. But if you end a relationship with disrespect, if you end a relationship off of reaction, the odds of those people ever coming back into your fold again are slim to none, because that wound will be there until it's addressed. And many of us don't want to address old wounds, and that is why we get stuck spinning our wheels in mania and anxiety and depression and all these things, is because we're not actually doing the right work at the right time, because it's uncomfortable, it's icky, and we don't want to be mean. But speaking your truth is not mean. And if somebody is coming at you twisted because you're standing in your truth and you're telling them, I don't like the way you're treating me, I don't like the way you're speaking to me, this doesn't make me feel good. If that triggers them to react, then that's on them. It's not on you. Be impeccable with your words and always do your best. If you speak to people with compassion, if you speak to people with empathy, and you come from a relatable lens where you're saying, hey, I just want to talk to you, this is how I'm feeling, this is what it's making me feel, this is what's triggering me, and you kind of bring them through what you went through when dealing with whatever that was, they'll be so much more open to what you're saying, and they'll be so much more open to evolving with you, because you're showing them that, and you even can be grateful for helping you grow. Thank you for triggering this in me. This is how it made me feel. This is what it reminded me of my life. And if we could not do that again moving forward, I think it'll make our relationship much stronger. People every day, oh yeah, man, I didn't even know, I'm sorry. But it's when we wait and we don't want to ruffle feathers, we don't want to say anything, and we don't want somebody to run away, and we don't know, and then all of a sudden it gets to a point, it gets to that tipping point where we just can't take it anymore, and then we attack. And at that point, you are now the assailant, they are now the victim, and anything you have to say is null and void, and that relationship will not be stronger, it'll actually be weaker. So if you're willing to speak right away your truth, no matter how scared you are of how that person's going to receive it, if they're going to cut you out because you're speaking your truth, how about this? What if you spoke your truth immediately and they cut you out right away? You just saved yourself so much headache, so much energy lost, so much negative relationship momentum, right? Because you're compromising yourself for this other person because you're not speaking your truth, because you're scared of what they're going to say, because they mean more to you than you mean to yourself, right? That's really what this is. It's unfortunate, but it is. We don't see that we compromise ourselves all the time for other people because we can't let them go, or we can't let them be. So we try to be responsible for them. We try to own their problems for them because they're also confiding in us and they're also coming to us. But I'm also realizing that that's where the unhealthy relationship really needs to be looked at. Is it healthy or is it unhealthy? Because are they gossiping to you and putting all of their negative energy and shit onto you so that you have to shoulder it because you're the empath and you're the person that transmutes all of this darkness? Or are they coming to you to actually work through their stuff and then also reciprocating by being there for you when you need to work through stuff? The easiest way to look at a relationship is to go, can I speak my truth to this person? And when I need them, are they there with me? Are they there for me? And will they listen to what I have to say and help me make it through the trials and tribulations, the misapplication of energy or thought in my life? And you're going to find very quickly when you start to objectively look at your relationships in your life, 95% of them are single-handed and they're all takers because they do not know how to be any other way and they do not have the energy to give. So they take and take and take so they don't have to deal with their own shit. And they're the victims. And we feed them with our support and our love and, oh, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. But because we can't speak our truth, because we have to walk on eggshells around their egos, nobody wins, nobody grows, and decay sets in. So today I wanted to talk to you all about letting it go or letting it be. That's the paradox. If you can't let it go, let it be. If you can't let it be, let it go. And if you can't do either, then sit with yourself in that middle point and go, why am I having trouble letting this person go? Why am I having trouble letting this thing be? And what is it reflecting in me? What's it reflecting in my past programming that's causing me to get stuck because I haven't learned the right lesson from this tribulation, from this challenge? These are just the little concepts and little mechanisms you can use in your life to start looking at all the things that are happening that you have control over. Because oftentimes in a relationship, oh, I don't have control. We have all the control in the world in our relationships. All you have to do is go, I don't accept that. This is my truth. And if you don't accept my truth, then I'm sorry, then we can't keep going. Let it go or let it be. That's all that's left. Because hanging on and driving ourselves crazy and beating ourselves up and then blaming the world for how horrible everything is not working anymore, and it's not creating unity. And the only way to unify is to unify within yourself. And the only way to unify within yourself is to trust yourself. And the only way to trust yourself is to go through the gauntlet of fixing all of the relationships that are killing you. Because in reality, that is where most of our decay comes from. It's from wanting to love, wanting to be loved, and feeling neither. Because we don't have the self-respect and the self-trust to let go or let be the people in our lives, however they are, whoever they are, wherever they are. Because we're scared, because we're still separated from God. And that is why this journey is through the human. Is because the only way that you can unlock the kingdom is through this human. Because the only way that you can believe that you are a fractal of God, it has the capacity to let things go or let things be, is if you heal the illusion of 3D matrix world, of this 3D body, of all the labels that we are, and ascend into the being that you've always been. So I hope you gain a little bit clarity on your path today. I hope you get a little bit further on your journey. I hope you can bring in a little bit more love into your heart so that you can stop, breathe, ask, listen, trust yourself to let those people be that you love and to let those people go that are hurting you. And if you can make that promise to yourself today and work towards that every single day of this year, I promise you, by the time 2022 rolls around, the relationships in your life will be 180 degrees different. You'll have more abundance. You'll have more love, more health, more wealth, more wellness, more freedom, more prosperity, more abundance. And it'll be the greatest thing you ever did. And then you will be the greatest thing since sliced bread because you did the right work at the right time and you actually matter to yourself. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have an even better evening. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Check me out on Instagram, Army of Energy. Again, Dirt, brand partner. I think it's a game changer. I really believe that through these bodies is how we heal it all. And so if you want to learn more about how to detox your mind and detox your body so that you can ascend into the fifth dimension, hit me up. I love you all. I'll talk to you all again tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.